What is up, everyone? So, I'm not sure if you watched last week's. It was like creative routing with Serum. This week is massive. It's a little different, but for the most part, same techniques. There's just a couple other things I'll show you guys that I kind of do with the routing inside massive. And that's going to be today's topic. Just a little either a reminder, a refresher of how massive works, or you're learning massive, and all this will be gold to you. All right, so you have your LFOs, but that's going back and forth. Now, one of the secret little routing things is you can switch it to a performer. So now instead of going back and forth, it's only going on one side. And it's something you either know or you don't know. And then there's the stepper, which would make it go to that value. So instead of sliding up there, it'd be like dun 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 dun, and you could write it out like that. So that's something to know. Here are all the LFOs though. They come standard, and you click the little what was this plus arrow thing, and then I'm holding the click still, and then you just drag and drop them in a square, or you could simply right click the square, modulation 5, and boom. Now we got the LFO, and then you click and hold to drag them around. But see how the LFO is on both sides? Well, if we switch it to a performer, it's going to be on one side now. And take note that it's going to go. Or you could flip it backwards. So the green's on this side and then it comes back on that side. So either or, it's going to get different results. So definitely check out both if you want to send it that way or send it the other way first. As for placing them, I do them on the amps, wavetables. What I do like is a little bit on the intensity too, give it a little more pumping. I'll do it on the white noise like all my other ones. Another thing I like to do is the amp on the LFO. So here, let's see what the sound sounds like. See, but then if you do an LFO on it, oh, sorry, wrong one. You gotta drop a different LFO, and then you could go back and forth. So it's like LFO on, LFO off, LFO on, LFO off, and you can get some nice little rhythms doing stuff like that. Another cool thing I like to do with the routing is dropping the LFOs over here on the amp, so it's going to be modulating the whole sound. So let me turn these off so you could hear what exactly it is doing. Oh. So it's more like the whole sound. So that's controlling it as a whole, whereas on the amp over here, it's only doing it, to just one. And then you could also do the, oh, wrong one. Over here, I also like to use the tubes, reverbs, and dimension expander with LFOs and performers. As if you watched any of my Serum videos, you'll know I do this basically almost every sound. As long as it sounds good, it will be added to the sound. And this just gives it a little more stereo width and pulsing effect on the stereo width, so it's going in and out. That's obviously with the reverb on. another really cool one, it gets you like some growl effects on the boost and frequency. So this one is just kind of, adding a little lasery type thing to it. But when it's like a growl and stuff and you're doing this, oh man, it really polishes it off nicely. Now, if you go to the actual routing tab, when you're flipping everything down, I always like to put the noise on the bypass and have it run two effects. One, if it's going to be like stuff like this, if it's like a tube and stuff, I'm going to put it into the EQ, or FX2, because FX2 would then be the dimension expander for the most case in my sound design stuff that I've noticed. But so your inserts, you could get from putting insert 1 and 2, flipping them, or putting it even before the filter. No matter where you put it, you're gonna get different results every time. So it's good just to come into this tab and just flip them around and see if it's gonna where it makes the best for your sound, and that's the way you figure out the routing. There's no right or wrong. It's going through placing things in the chain and figuring out what sounds best for the sound you're making, or maybe you come up with a happy accident by turning the insert 2 before and having 1 after instead of 1 before, 2 after, and it just creates whatever. You can't describe it, you just gotta do it in here. On my inserts, I do like to use hard clippers. That's kind of, just gives it more energy out of the sound, and simple delay for robotic sounds. But as far as the routing, the last thing I would start using stuff on is on the voicings page. And you can do stuff like on the cutoff. But when you put an LFO on there, you get nice tones from it and a lot of phasey stuff. And it doesn't sound too much, or it doesn't sound too good on deeper stuff, but on like higher sounds and saws and stuff like that, it really adds to it. Right now it's just really destroying the sound and muddying it up. But again, it's not really a sound, it's just a nit preset. I'm just adding random stuff too. Wavetable position, you could throw that on there too. I don't use that much, I just use these over here. And then pan position, so this is another stereo thing. You could add a little bit on, but I don't use it too much as like a pulse effect. Whereas the dimension expander, I'm really focusing on making it pulse. And that's basically all the things. The last routing tip that I could give you is these macro controls. Definitely use them, and you could use them on even the ones you have LFOs on. So, the LFO is doing its thing, but if you want the LFO to start at different times, you'd put this macro on there and then, automate this macro. And then now the LFO is still going, but then you could, move it around. You could also just map this, but say this is map, the 2 is macroed up to a bunch of different knobs. Now it's all set up to 1. So that's something to really look into and help you save time. So when you save your presets, you're ready to go, and these 8 knobs right here, you can start morphing the sound every which way and just get straight to writing. But that's routing and massive. There's really not much to show you guys besides that. That's like the basics, get down. And you could do them anywhere you see a box. Anywhere there's an open box that you could right click, says modulations, or it drags on, like these ones are obviously not the boxes. But if they look like the number could fit in, it's gonna allow you to drop an LFO on, or a performer, or a stepper. So don't forget about this. LFO, performer, and stepper, the main differences: LFO is going forward and backwards. Performer is just going either forward or just backwards, depending on how you have it. And the stepper is to set value, so it jumps to each value that it would be set at when you put this on the knob. So I hope this has helped you guys out. Seeing just like massive, you could really start putting things basically everywhere and have infinite results. There's really no right way. It's whatever sounds good, and every time you make a sound, it's going to be different settings. It's going to be different things. You're going to try different things. You're going to maybe come across new things, and there's no way of really doing it. You just have to know what the hell this is and what could go where and how to use it, and then from there it's like infinite. You know, there's the sounds you can create once you know what the actual VST is unlimited. So I hope this has helped you guys out learn massive a little more in depth, and just so you could just dive in and get right to work. It sucks when you're sitting here twisting knobs forever, hearing the same sound, and it all sounds like shit and rips your ears apart. So the point of all these is to get you guys in and working faster, more efficiently, and just get right back to making music like we always wanted to. You know, we didn't. Some of us didn't want to be making sounds and programming and all this stuff. We just fell in love with making music. And once you learn the techniques and all like the knowledge behind the VSTs and the programs, is the faster you can get back to making music, and you don't have to worry about this anymore. So that's what we're trying to do with these videos. Just drop everything we know that could possibly help you get to that next step. And we're doing videos every single day. So if you like this video, click that subscribe button, that bell notification. Don't forget to click the like button if you like this video, if it has helped you out in any way. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.